Welcome to My Best Ex, where we talk about friendship, relationships, and the what do we do now moments in life. We are a podcast by two exes who are now besties, because who better to help you walk through the great midlife shifts than someone who dumped you in the past? I'm Gloria.
I'm Zina. And welcome. So how was everybody's week? How was your week, Glo? How have you been doing?
My week is going pretty well. I have calmed down on the heavy sighing that was happening last week, where I would just catch myself being like, so that has stopped a lot. So that's good.
That's really good.
That's progress. How you been?
Yeah, I understand why there's been a lot of heavy sighing. I'm sure there's a lot of heavy sighing for our audience members too. It's a crazy time. I have been distracting myself with my March Madness, so I'm good.
Some kind of new moon ritual you doing?
Wow,
for the retrograde?
You're serious, or is that a joke?
It's a joke.
March Madness is the most exciting basketball series in the history of basketball series. It's college. It's okay. I'll put it in Glow language. It is college-age men in their costumes running up and down a court, shooting balls into baskets.
So it's a bunch of college kids playing basketball. Yes, I get it. I know. I'm just like, it seems it takes up a lot of time. Like, is it the whole month?
No, it's joy. It's fun. It's a bracket. You get to win money. So there's like 60 something teams. And
okay, wait, stop. That's a lot of teams. 60 is a lot.
So it starts out with a lot of teams, right? And each team has a seed. They're seeded something. So like, for example, like Duke and Florida and like the bigger schools like that who are known to have really good basketball teams are like number 1 seed. And then maybe a really small college in a small town like, I don't know, St. Mary's or something is a number 12 seed. But the joy of March Madness is the number 12 seed can beat the number 1 seed. David and Goliath.
Are you saying seed or seat? Are you saying seed, the 12th seed, or seat? Was it T or a D?
C. 12 seed. I think that's right. Isn't it seed? Is all this time it's been seed and I think it's seed?
You're asking me? Why are you asking me about this? I don't know. I'm trying to understand what word we're saying here so that if I go and say I'm rooting for the 12th seat, I know what I'm
Now you're making me question myself. 12 seed. If it's 12 seed. Anyway, David and Goliath's story, right? That's what everyone watches for, that small school will beat like the big school. And if you're in a bracket, like my family has a bracket that we do together, whoever gets the most guesses right of the teams, that will win, right? They win the pot of money.
So there's gambling involved.
Yeah. But like,
well, I like gambling.
You can put $10 in. Like, it's not like, super stakes. But my family is chill. We just do $10. The pot's around $100. It's not that much. But what is funny, and this is why I think you should join Glow, and it'll help you with your heavy sighing because you'll be really distracted by basketballs.
Oh, wait, I have to watch the game. Wait, so I have to then watch the games? I can't just put in money?
Well, you don't have to. Listen, my mom, who knows less about basketball than you, okay, has won the bracket 3 years in a row, the past 3 years. So one year, she just bet based on the color of the costumes,
Okay.
And she won. And the next year she bet based on the mascots, like which ones she thought were really cute and which ones made her uncomfortable. And won. Well, the rest of us are like serious basketball sports people, like, oh, he set a pick, ooh, a layup, ooh, a foul. My mom has no idea what's going on, and she won the bracket. She's won for 3 years. And it's because she's just having fun. That's when you win, when you're not.
I don't like the 60 teams. That feels like too much. Is it possible for me to jump in when there are like 20 teams?
Well, no, because that's like coming in the middle of a game. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm out.
You have. Can you at least think about it? Because it would seem like a good distraction. You don't have to watch the games. You can just keep updated on your phone. You'll find out who wins, right? By just like Googling it.
Oh, no. Okay, now it's on my phone. Yeah, this feels like a lot of work.
No, you just download the CBS Sports app.
And yeah, this sounds like so much work. It's good for you because it's distracting you. But for me, this is like a lot of work. And if I could just pick when they're down to like 5 or 10, I would be happy with that. I would be happy
and it's
to
the
weigh in.
stories though. Like last night, okay, this is right up your alley. Last night, 2 teams played, and one was an HBCU, and they were not expected to win. Alabama State, and they were not expected to win. They were the underdog, and they won, and it was the sweetest story because the coach, his son, is one of the players. But they ended up winning, which was huge for an HBCU. And you would love the costumes, you would love the stories. And that it happens all the time in the March Madness because you never know. Like some of these smaller schools end up like their dreams coming true and they beat, when they beat Goliath.
You may have just gotten me into this. That pitch there actually worked. Yeah, I may check this out because I like that idea of just like this HBCU. I might be in.
So you should root for Alabama State all the way. That's
what I'm doing. All right, I'm in. I'll put my $10 in and I'm rooting for Alabama State.
All right. If you want to get on our family,
yeah,
let me know. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be on the family one, but I'm not filling out a bunch of things. I'm just going to say at the end, it's Alabama State. So I sent you, did you take a look at that video I sent you up with that couple dancing?
Yes. Why did you send that to me? Because now I'm obsessed with them.
Right. Okay. So you guys, I sent her this video of TNC. They're Tracy and Cheryl, and they are this lesbian couple that I think are so adorable. And I am inspired by them because they're just so cutesy. I just spend way too much time looking at what they're doing with their lives, and they're just so adorable.
Today they had one about they were in bed together, like watching TV or something. Did you see this one? And you're in bed with your partner and you both agree to start a movie, but then your partner falls asleep 5 minutes into it. Like the whole time she's saying she's not tired, but then 5 minutes in, she's asleep.
First of all, there's always one person that falls asleep. I am the person that falls asleep during the movie.
It's like
I don't know about you, but growing up, I never saw older lesbian couples. And when I did meet older lesbian couples or see them, I did not relate to them. We had lesbians that lived across the street from us, Bonnie and Linda. They both had little short haircuts and they had a standard poodle named Peaches, and they would have a lot of cocktails, but they didn't look like me and I never related to them.
First of all, I love their dog's name was Peaches.
Well, this was the 80s. So if that gives it more context, It was the 80s. Yeah.
It seems like it'd be like Joan Jett.
Well, it would be. That'd be perfect for this dog, who was a black giant poodle.
Oh,
yeah. Joan Jett would have been great. Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, growing up in the Midwest in Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, like I thought lesbians were only older and white because of, again, like a couple that lived in our neighborhood. When I go on walks with my parents, they'd be on the porch and they wave or whatever. And, my dad explained to me and my mom like that, that they're a lesbian couple. I never heard that word before. And I was like, oh, okay. So lesbian means that you're older and you're white and you have short matching haircuts, like you said, and you wear Birkenstocks. And they had like a cat on a leash that would be out there with them. And like one.
Okay, stop. I'm sorry. See, now it just got weird. See, now you made it weird. The cat on the leash.
Maybe it wasn't on a leash. It was probably just an outdoor cat on a porch. I'm probably exaggerating the memory. I think it was just a fat cat that sat on the porch. Forget the leash. Take out the leash. Anyway. And so I always thought, okay, lesbian means white, lesbian means older, lesbian means matching haircuts, Birkenstocks, and cats. And one of them I remember was like a teacher, and one of them was a librarian. And they were so nice.
All of that actually does kind of track, but it's also nice to know that there are other representations of lesbians out there now, because we still do have the cats and the Birkenstocks, but we also have more than that. And that's what I love about this couple. I think of all the other, lesbian couples out there. Like, who do you have? You have
Niecy Nash.
That's right. And
you have Queen Latifah and her wife. Oh, you have the Brat. I love the Brat.
Oh, my mother is obsessed with what the Brat and her wife are doing. She's always like, the Brat had the baby with her, so my mother's very into that. But yeah, they're all those famous ones, kind of like Hollywood ones. But the thing that I love about this couple is that they're not that. They were just an older, mixed race, age gap couple living in Texas.
Oh.
And they started, Oh,
I didn't know they lived in the South. I assumed they were in like, I don't know, northeast or something.
No,
Oh.
they are in Texas. I think they're in Houston or outside of Houston.
Mm.
And so they just started posting on TikTok, and then they kind of grew this following and this platform. I think because people were so excited to see an older lesbian couple, to see I can grow into this. This is what my life could look like in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. It's very aspirational to see them, because we're not just going to all end up with Pam haircuts and, that's what our life is destined to be. We're able to see other options in them, and they're real life people and not celebrities.
Yeah. And wow, I didn't know they were in the South. That's even more and like inspiring. Yeah, I'm obsessed with them now too. And I think that what's also fun to watch is they do a lot of romantic stuff for each other. Like they go on a lot of dates and they like spoil each other, and and it's like I think that's so important, especially like in long-term lesbian relationships, right? That we need to kind of keep that romance and keep that part of our relationship going. And because dare I mention LBD? I didn't want to bring it up, but
Okay. I didn't think we were going to go there with this. Do you want to define LBD for those who don't know?
well, yeah. I mean, I think it needs its own episode, but just to say a little bit, lesbian bed death, LBD. For those of you who don't know the kind of some of the lesbian lingo terms, LBD, lesbian bed death, is what it sounds like. And I don't know. It's basically when the kind of the passion. I mean, my parents are listening to this, so I have to be careful with my words here. Like the passion, the romance. No, not the no, the physical passion kind of leave the relationship, and it becomes a lot of snuggling and cuddling and eating popcorn in bed.
You made it sound so clinical, but yes, it's when the fire and the rolling around stops, basically.
You said the rolling
and
around.
it's all just cuddling and sweetness and all of those things. And there's no fire in your relationship again. We should have a whole other episode about LBD,
Yes.
like how to find it. But one of the things that you said that I agree with about them is that they seem very intentional about connecting, and about they kind of look like they're still dating each other in a way. And even though they've been married for 3 years, which is not a very long time. So I would hope that that would still be happening. But it just reminded me that it's important to still date your person.
Yes. And I also like that they seem to have found each other later in life, and they're just like having the time of their lives together with dating each other and passion and all these things.
Yeah. And they also give me hope, because you're right. They are later in life. They were friends for 10 years on Facebook. And then a storm came, and one of them was without power, and the other one invited her to her house so that she could have a hot meal. And that, yes, you got it. Like, because what do you mean? How do I know this? Because I'm obsessed with them. And I went all the way back to the beginning. I looked at the early Facebook post. I looked at the storm post. Yeah. I follow them like it's my job, but I follow them because it feeds me and it makes me hopeful. And so that's why I look at them. There's something that you said also that reminded me of, I saw this clip of Meghan Markle that's been going around when she was on the Drew Barrymore show. And after Drew stopped, kissing her face or whatever, Meghan was talking about this idea that when she was a babysitter, the dad of the family said to her, I hope you find someone that always dates you. And one of the things that she says that she values about her marriage is that they still court each other. That's the thing. Like, you're still doing the things that you did when you were in the courting phase. Now, of course, there's life.
Yeah.
But I think it's about the being intentional about it, being deliberate about still courting and dating your person, wanting them to see you in the best light, and wanting to give them the things that they like and that they need, and to make them feel good, because that's what you're doing when you're courting, making sure that that person is feeling good around you.
Yeah. And it gets you out of the kind of the rut and the routine of everyday life, right? When you are going out of where you normally are, like out of the house, or even if you do an in-home date, like you're switching it up in some way, to make it fun. I think that's great.
I have a question. Do you all have prescribed date nights, like Friday, or do you schedule that kind of stuff, or are you more, hey, next week I want to do this, or do you schedule stuff?
No, I think I'm very fortunate in that we both like to do date night kind of stuff, and we're both creative in those ways. Like the one I told you about where we went to the thrift store and picked out outfits. We closed our eyes and picked out the outfit for the other person.
Your dirty clothes date? Your dirty clothes.
Yeah. We've done another one where we went to Staples and we got like blank canvases, and we came home and we opened a bottle of wine and lit some candles and sat across each other and painted the other person. And we're terrible artists. Both of us are terrible visual artists. And we painted the other. And it wasn't until we were done that we could turn that painting around and show the other person. And it was insane, like awful, but hilarious.
Yes, you sent me a picture of that, and I literally had a jump scare when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, what is this?
I painted her with this big, long oval head and this really tiny stick neck. And then she painted me with that Hitler mustache, remember? And I was so disturbed. It actually caused LBD for us for a little bit because I was so disturbed by like the way she had painted me. I like needed a break. But yeah, we've done stuff like that. And we've done like home date, this simple kind of, I cook her my specialty and we sit and yeah.
What is your specialty? I'm sorry, ma'am.
Why'd your eyebrows go down on specialty? Like,
ma'am, what is your specialty? I'm sorry, I've never known you to have a food specialty. What's your food?
Excuse you. I can cook. I cook teriyaki. Okay, that face. Let's fix the face. Teriyaki salmon, roasted Brussels sprouts, and either mashed or baked sweet potatoes, depending on my mood that day.
Oh, depending on your mood. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. I was like, that's her favorite meal. That's my fiance's favorite meal that I make. Well, because it's the only meal I can make, first of all, but also because it's damn good.
So. I was going to say it's your favorite meal that you make. Like, I didn't know you had a whole recipe book, but apparently.
My strength is breakfast. When I was growing up, my dad would make these pancakes that were really special. Reese's peanut butter pancakes, which are basically just taking Reese's peanut butter chips, not pieces, Reese's pieces, not pieces, not cups, but chips. Very important distinction. And just regular old, pancake mix that you add water to. And then you take the batter, you stir the chips into the batter, and then you cook the pancakes on the griddle. And the peanut butter chips melt into the pancake. Oh my God. If you've never tried, please do yourself a favor and try this because it is amazing.
I have to say that it is life-changing. Oh, you know what? I was thinking of like when you said home dates, one of the best dates I've had was a home date that someone did for me. I like to go out dancing, but sometimes I can't handle the club and all of the people and all that jazz. So the person that I was with at the time made a club glow where they turned their spare bedroom into a club. So it had like club lighting and disco balls, and then it had a club glow playlist and cocktails. And we just danced for like an hour and a half or 2 hours to all of my jams. And I could not have been happier.
Take notes, lesbians. Take notes.
Could not have been happy. I was like, this was what I loved about it. It was simple. It wasn't a whole bunch of money involved, but it was so specific to something that I would like.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would go to Club Glow. That sounds like disco balls, Diana Ross, Michael McDonald, and just, dancing all night. I love it. I would go there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Club Glow. And I think about that date all the time because I was like, this is like to be able to be with someone to have like simple fun to me is the thing. That's the dream. That's the idea. What's one of your best dates that you've had?
Best dates. Let me think. Well, we did one where we switched clothes, like in terms of she dressed as in my vibe and I dressed in her vibe. And then we went into the city, to the Lower East Side, and we went to this like little small quaint bar and we kind of role played other characters, like we're other people. And we like the whole time we were other people. We just made up these other people that we were. I think she was a chef and I was a DJ, and we were on our first date and we just did that. And it was so fun.
That sounds like such a fun time. And it's just like a big giant improv.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that is so key is just like remembering to do it. Like, I feel like we can come up with all kinds of like cutesy, fun, low labor, dates, but it's just the making sure that you do it part. And to me, like, how I am, I'm a scheduling kind of person, so I know one who wants to date this, but
my fiance is a scheduling person too. So sometimes when I do surprises, she's like, just tell me, please, for the love of God, just tell me. I know you're excited, but just please tell me. My anxiety is off the chain. Are we seeing people? Are we not seeing people? What, do you know what I mean? Like, she does not like surprises, and I have to appreciate that. If she really is feeling anxiety about it, I have to tell her. I love surprises, but see, that's what I'm saying. She doesn't. So
right. So it's being mindful of the other person and just remembering to do the things so that, we can be like T and C and still be like happy and motivated and connecting. Cause that's ultimately, I think that's what the dating and the courting is about. It's an opportunity to really see your person, to slow down already, to connect with your person and to invest in the middle space, the relationship space.
And to be doing the thing that they like. You don't want to take someone to do something that you like to do, but they aren't so keen on, because that's not really, that's not really celebrating them.
So first of all, you said the word keen. Second of all, I had a date. I had someone, okay, I don't like sand.
Yeah.
I don't like it because there's too much of it. And it just seems like, it's stuck in you for weeks on end and it's in your car. I just can't deal with sand.
Black sand. One episode you said you'd found some black sand that you liked.
I do. That was in Playa Negra. It was very fine sand, and it was not super sandy.
Okay.
So that I do like Playa Negra sand, but I don't like all the other sand.
Yeah.
I went on a date where a person proposed marriage to me on a beach, and I was just surrounded by sand, and I couldn't get comfortable because there was all of this sand, and I thought, you don't know me. Because you would never bring me here. There's a little kid over there who's like watching and being weird and doing things. And I'm dealing with all these sand and I'm in heels because I didn't know I was going to the beach. And it was
yeah, that's not a good look.
Not good.
I mean, they probably meant well. Do they like, I'm assuming they like the beach, right?
I mean, I guess they did.
Like maybe they thought it was romantic.
Yeah, they thought it would be romantic. It was ill chosen.
Yeah.
Informed decision.
Exactly. Okay, so on that note, speaking of like dates and dating your person, I thought it would be fun to play a game called Make It a Date.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to give you 3.
Hold on. Is this a made-up game?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a Zina game.
I mean, we can try to patent and sell it if you want, just like Club Glow, but...
Well, let's see what the game does before we decide. Okay.
Well, if anyone listening, thinks this has legs, let us know. Okay. Make it a date. I'm going to give you 3 random items, and you're going to tell me how you would take those 3 random items and make it a romantic date for you and your person.
All right. Do I get to do this back to? I can come up with items for you too.
Oh, of course. Yeah. This game is 2-player or more.
Okay.
Okay. Here are your 3 items. Are you ready?
Yes.
You writing this down?
Yes.
Okay.
You know that.
A candle.
Okay.
Roller skates.
Okay.
A blank sheet of paper.
Ooh. Candle, roller skates, blank sheet of paper.
Yep. And good luck.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Oh, that seems fun. Okay, we are going to light the candle and we're going to get a bunch of the wax and then we're going to we're going to pour the wax on the paper and then we're going to skate through it and it's going to make
through the paper?
We're going to skate over the paper where the wax is so that it can make a design and then we'll sign it as a piece of art that we created afterwards.
Yeah, it's going to lead to LBD that date.
And I mean, it could be like, otherwise, or
all plan.
Okay. We will light the candle.
Love it.
Okay. And we'll put on roller skates. And for the piece of paper, I will write out that we're going to have I'll do, this is what I'll do. Will you go on a date with me? Check yes or no.
But you don't have a pen.
Okay. So it's just a random piece of paper?
Yeah, blank sheet of paper.
I'm just going to eat the paper.
I'm just going to eat it. Yay. I love it. Okay. Yeah, nice date.
You're in for it now. All right. You have a pair of chopsticks.
Ooh, I love chopsticks.
Okay. And you have a glue gun.
Mm-hmm.
And you have some roses. Boom. What are you doing with that?
I'll tell you what I'm about to do with that.
Okay.
So
weird.
I'm going to get dressed up in my little duds, my little cute duds.
I'm sorry. I'm just curious. Did somebody else enter our room? Because your voice is
hold on, I'm not done. I'm going to take the rose and the glue gun, and I'm going to glue the rose onto the lapel of my jacket. And then I'm going to take the chopsticks and I'm going to say, hey, girl, guess where we going to dinner tonight? Japanese.
Okay. There are many things here. Number one, I want to know why your voice has changed and you're like, hey, girl, I want to know why that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, you can't go for Japanese.
Okay, wait, you got a second chance. You got a second chance at yours. Okay. So I'm going to get a second.
Okay.
Alt date. Okay. I take the rose. She and I are sitting across from each other. All right.
Okay.
I have the rose in my hand. Okay. I take out the chopsticks and I proceed to do She Loves Me, She Loves Me Not, as I pluck each petal from the rose with the chopsticks. She loves me, she loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. And hopefully, as universe has it, it ends on she loves me.
Okay.
And then I kiss her and I say, I am so blessed and fortunate to have you love me. And then I take all of the roses petals that are on the floor from the chopsticks. I take the glue gun and I glue them to myself as a symbol of our love. Now, if it ends on she loves me not, I'm fucked. But if it ends on screwed, oops, can we curse on these? But if I'm banking that it ends on, I'll finagle it so it ends on she loves me.
Okay.
How was that?
Yeah, it was great.
The second one was better, right?
Yeah, it was a little better. And you didn't have that weird Jermaine Dupri voice that you were putting on.
No. That's my Usher voice. That's my like Mac, like wooing, like, hey baby, what's up? What you want to do tonight? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I don't think that's Usher. I think it's very Jermaine Dupri.
No, Jermaine Dupri is not. He does not have that voice. That's more Usher or like who else? I don't know. Like
okay. All right. Do you have any more?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna give you pom poms.
Excellent.
Because you were a cheerleader back in the day, so I thought this would work for you.
Love it.
Pom poms, a gallon of water, like in one of those plastic jugs, and one pair of rubber gloves. Go.
Pom poms, gallon of water, rubber gloves. Can I put on I can do other things like you had your lapel of your jacket. So I'm going to put together a superhero outfit.
Okay.
And the gloves are going to be a part of my superhero outfit, kind of like a Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask which superhero because that matters.
Yeah. I don't know any other ones really. So
Wonder Woman, Superman, like, there's
I don't know them.
Oh, okay.
So Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to make up a cheer or a chant about how great they are. And then at the end of the cheer, I will break into a half split because I can't do a full split anymore. I'll break into a half split.
I got to see what a half split looks like.
With one leg out and one leg that's kind of bent.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. It's like if you were doing a hurdler jump, but it's like on the ground. Mm-hmm. So a half split, and then I pour the water over myself in celebration and throw the pom-poms up in the air.
That's great.
Boom.
I like that one. Yay! That was your best one yet.
Thank you. All right, here's your last one.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an Etch-a-Sketch.
Ooh, I love those.
A cowboy hat, and a microphone.
Okay. So I'm going to go full in Beyonce Cowboy Carter. I'm going to get a white singlet tee.
Okay.
A cute pair of jeans. I don't have cowboy boots, but I have like brown Docs, so I'll put those on.
Okay.
And then my cowboy hat. And then I'll take the Etch-a-Sketch and I'll make a heart with the Etch-a-Sketch, and I'll put her name plus my name, and I'll hold it up like this, like they did in Love Actually, like right up like this, like in front. With side. That, yeah. And then what was the last thing?
Microphone.
Oh, and then I take the microphone and I sing some romantic like country song, So I have the Etch-a-Sketch held up like this. I have my Cowboy Carter swag on, and then I sing, "You got know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when," or like a romantic country song. Not that one, but like a romantic one, like "Take my hand, take my whole life," like that.
Okay, so yeah, okay.
You don't approve of that date?
I loved all of that except your song choices, but that's something you could work on.
Yeah, I can't think offhand right now like a really romantic country song for some reason will work, but like
even "Lady" by Kenny Rogers. How nice would that be?
That's "Lady, there's so many ways I want to say I love you." Yes.
Exactly. Written by Lionel Richie. Anyway, who was one of your favorites?
Who is one of my favorites? Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Done.
Great pitch.
Well, I think that's our time. So what is the takeaway, Z?
Well, I think hopefully our audience has got some great date ideas and realized that, you don't have to spend a ton of money or do extravagant romantic things to show your person you care. It could be simple things, simple, small things, just to show them you appreciate them. And also it just is fun to just have joy in the relationship, make each other laugh, do something unexpected.
Yeah, bring back the fun in courting.
Yes, exactly. 100%.
All right.
Well,
thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks, friend. And have a good week, everybody. Hang in there.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.